If you're planning a trip to Italy, you have no doubt been inundated with a series of advice on social media, and it can be difficult at times to delineate between what is actually good advice and what is just straight up nonsense. I've been living here in Rome for the past 8 years, and this was quite literally why I started posting on my social media in the first place and why I coined the term Italy tips that don't suck. Because I was really sick of the nonsense advice that was circulating out there on the internet, and I set out to correct it so that you can have the best time on your trip to Italy. So today, I want to break down 5 of the biggest lies you've been told about traveling to Italy so that you can get rid of the nonsense and actually have a nice time. Now, before we jump into today's video, I kindly ask that if you like this sort of content, you're planning a trip to Italy, that you give this video a thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button. I would really love to have you stick around. So first things first, and this is probably the #1 lie that I see circulating on social media, and that is that you cannot have a cappuccino after 11 a.m. Now, I'm not sure exactly where the time of 11 a.m. got picked up, but in general, a cappuccino or any coffee drink with milk is considered more of a breakfast beverage. I think in reality, it's the fact that you don't have coffee with milk during or after meals. Oftentimes, restaurants won't even be equipped with a full coffee machine to make a cappuccino, so it's very possible that they wouldn't be able to accommodate your order anyway. But if you want to order a cappuccino at a bar at any hour of the day, yeah, maybe you'll get a side-eye glance, but if they have the ability to do it, they're gonna make it for you, so don't worry. The second biggest lie that I see circulating on social media is the fact that Italians are always dressed very elegantly and no one in Italy wears sneakers. Now, this is just straight up not true, and I always see these videos of people walking around Rome being like, look at how well dressed they are. And then 95% of the time, it's Italian men who are wearing suits and they're very clearly going to work. Now, I will say that people from the United States specifically do tend to have a lower standard of dressing. So some of the things that people are okay with leaving the house wearing in the US, you would not see Italians wearing outside of the house here. But at the end of the day, it's not illegal. And if you want to wear what is comfortable for you, that is what I suggest doing, because you will be walking tens of thousands of steps a day and comfortability is key. In particular, wearing sneakers. Everyone wears sneakers, okay? Sometimes people will say that Italians don't wear athletic sneakers. You know, they're not gonna be wearing Asics, they're not gonna be wearing Hokas, these kind of like chunkier, more athletic sneakers. That might be true, but that's because in an Italian's day-to-day life, they're not actively touring the city that they live in. So if you're coming here to tour a city and you know you're gonna be taking lots of steps and you wanna make sure you have the most comfortable shoes possible, wear whatever sneakers you want. It doesn't matter. And if style is important to you, I have a list of sneakers that I find to be incredibly comfortable, but also a bit more stylish than a traditional athletic sneaker. I will link them in the description below in case you're interested. #3 is that the major cities in Italy, so we're talking Rome, Milan, and Naples, are overrun with pickpockets, and it's basically unavoidable that you will get pickpocketed on your trip. I've been living here in Rome for 8 years, and I have never been pickpocketed before. It does not mean that pickpockets don't exist. They certainly do, and I will not deny that, but there are simple steps that you can take to ensure that you do not fall victim to a pickpocket. Make sure that when you're in crowded areas, like in front of major sites, in train stations, on public transportation, like the metro and the bus, that you know where your belongings are at all times. Have your stuff in a bag, have your hand on it, have it zipped up and closed, and you'll be perfectly fine. Don't put your wallet or your phone in your back pocket, and don't put your stuff on the ground. That is a surefire way to have someone target you and nab your stuff. This next lie, I have been seeing people ask me in comments of my TikTok videos recently, and I don't know where this started from, but a lot of people have been asking if you can wear sandals when you visit religious sites, and also if you have to cover your hair. This is not a requirement to visit religious sites in Italy. You definitely need to cover your shoulders and your knees, and that goes for both men and women that you need your knees and your shoulders covered. So gentlemen, no shorts when you visit the Vatican museums. You will get turned away. But you don't need to wear closed-toed shoes and you don't need to cover your hair when you enter religious sites in Italy. And number 5 is that Italy is cash only and no one takes card. This might have been true when I visited Italy for the first time in 2007, but today in 2025, pretty much every single business in Italy does accept card and will even accept card for very small purchases of just €1 or 2. Now, that doesn't mean I don't suggest having cash on you so that you can buy that €1 water bottle or €1.50 coffee with cash, as it is greatly appreciated, but also so that you can tip people. Many people don't think that you need to tip at all, or they apply a North American tipping mindset here in Italy. Both are incorrect. I can do a more in-depth video on tipping if that's of interest, so please let me know in the comments below and we can do an entire breakdown on how much you need to tip for a variety of things, from restaurants to drivers and private guides. These were the 5 biggest lies I think that you've probably been told on social media about visiting Italy. I would love to know in the comments if there are other lies that you would like me to debunk, and maybe I will do a part 2. Thank you so much for watching this video, and again, if you like this style of content, please do give me a like and a subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Ciao!